They bring color and class to the catwalk, introducing new styles and trends. The mastermind Karl Lagerfeld, the brilliant Balmain, the phenomenal Sonia Rykiel, the classic and colorful Pucci, and Kenneth Cole, an American fashion legend. Widely cited as one of the most influential fashion designers of the late 20th century, Karl Lagerfeld is legendary. His career is undoubtedly one of the most impressive in the fashion industry. It began when he was just 22 as an apprentice at Pierre Balmain. He then went on to design his first haute couture collections for Jean Patou. In the 60s, Lagerfeld began designing as a freelancer for Chloe with just a few pieces, but would soon go on to design the entire collections. In the 70s, he started designing for Italian label Fendi, creating furs, clothes and accessories, and inverted the FF logo, as well as revolutionizing the brand's image. Even today, the designer makes creative use of basic designs to give us some of the most elegant collections with decorated tops, flowing skirts and printed designs. By the early 1980s, Lagerfeld had taken over as chief designer for Chanel, where he revamped the faltering label by staying true to Coco Chanel's vision of simplicity with its signature lined wool suits and quilted handbags. He gave the brand eye-capturing looks that continue to this day. His haute couture collection for Chanel in 2008 saw models walking down a circular catwalk in Paris's Grand Palais, sporting short 1920s-style haircuts. Dresses embellished with sequins and beads dominated the collection, with the color palette ranging from pale grays and silvers to black, pale pink and ivory. Early 2009, he sent out crisp Ice Queen looks in frosty whites at Chanel's Spring-Summer Haute Couture collection, which also attracted the attention of some of Hollywood's A-list stars, such as actress Keira Knightley, who was gushing after the show at the quality and elegance of Lagerfeld's collection. Actresses Sarah Jessica Parker and Kate Bosworth have also been among the celebrity guests to attend events hosted by the German designer for the French fashion house Chanel. Showing the impact this designer has had on the industry, and to celebrate his 70th birthday, he was able to create his very own look-alike bear, complete with his matching characteristics of white ponytail, high Edwardian collar, fingerless gloves, huge sunglasses and all black clothing. And Lagerfeld was just as hands-on with the cuddly toy as he is with his Chanel couture creations. So, having created many collections for many fashion houses, Lagerfeld also created his own label, Karl Lagerfeld, in the early 1980s, later to be replaced with Lagerfeld Gallery. With this label, he has rapidly accomplished what would take others years to achieve, imbuing the line with a clear identity, wearable, a tad experimental, but undeniably cool clothes. The Lagerfeld Gallery collection was one not to be missed during the first week of the 2002-2003 autumn-winter ready-to-wear shows, with skin-tight jeans, towering high heels and long black jackets. He has also sent out slim jackets paired with starched white collars and skinny jeans in a carbon copy of the style Lagerfeld has adopted. However, his Lagerfeld Gallery also displays his other passions, as he often moves behind the lens to work as photographer for fashion magazines, having started his successful career as a photographer in the 1980s.
Because I have too many collections and I have too many other things going on. Photography and all that took over so much that I'm not sure I need so much. Maybe I want to concentrate a little more on Lagerfeld. Chanel and Fendi became so big that on the end, too much is too much. And the trend of the 80s to do a lot, maybe over now. It's fun to do different things.
For a man who's the face of many houses while also creating his own successful Lagerfeld Gallery, he continues to inspire and intrigue with his beautiful, wearable and engaging clothes. He is a powerful figure in the world of fashion, known primarily for revolutionizing the way we dress. Karl Lagerfeld, who creates countless collections a year, is a true legend. One of the great and legendary Paris fashion centres, the House of Balmain was founded by the king of French fashion and one of the best-known dress designers in the world. The House of Balmain was established by one of the most sophisticated and elegant men around, Pierre Balmain, in 1945. He began working for fashion designer Edouard Molyneux before opening his own iconic fashion house. His background in architecture was a big influence on his designs, and once quoted that dressmaking is the architecture of movement. He created elegance by using simplicity. The Balmain heyday was in the 1950s, when his couture house vied with Christian Dior. He created all his own designs, and his clients were many of the famous actresses, including Ava Gardner, Brigitte Bardot and Carol Baker, who in 1964 made a quick visit to the House of Balmain to collect a dress to wear to her film premiere. The dress, even then, was supposedly insured for $100,000. During the 70s, Pierre Balmain would often give special previews of some of his outstanding creations, where he himself would introduce and describe a representative selection from his showing. Featuring sophisticated and refined outfits, his collections would feature different materials such as crepe, furs and silk chiffon, and a variation of pastel colours, pinstripes and colours for evening wear that were dark and romantic. Balmain died in Paris at the age of 68, and the fashion house was now run by Danish designer Erik Mortensen, who was described as Balmain's right-hand man. His funeral on July 5, 1982 was attended by many, including the head of another famous Paris fashion house, Pierre Cardin. Mortensen kept with the house's traditions and developed and updated Pierre's styles. Dominican designer Oscar de la Renta took over control in 1993. However, in 2002, the veteran designer conjured an opulent Russian winter in his last haute couture collection for Balmain, marking the end of a successful 10-year stint at the French house. Friends and admirers turned out in force for the farewell as models paraded the catwalk in stunning outfits, such as the white velvet frock coat that crawled with hundreds of hand-embroidered leaves and roses. The most stunning, however, was a gold feather bustier top paired with a bronze fortunately pleated chiffon skirt that was worn with a delicate gold tiara. The challenge for Balmain then was to find a replacement who can match his extensive contacts list. Young Singapore-born designer Andrew Gen was then hired by Balmain to replace de la Renta. Having studied at Central St Martin's in London, Gen presented his first ready-to-wear collection for Balmain in 1998. Colours were either black or scarlet red, with trouser suits and suits with skirts below the knees being favourites of his collection. Today, the house is led by designer Christophe Deacon, whose vision is more modern and edgy. In 2006, Deacon's designs glowed, featuring golf leaf embellished trousers, dazzling silver and gold metallic dresses, and shirts and toga dresses slashed at the back. The show's rock and roll aspirations also came into the equation, with tattered t-shirts, baggy harem trousers, and Lenny Kravitz in the front row. For a fashion house that's made an impact, Balmain now has fans that include Anne Hathaway, who took to the red carpet in a glamorous black dress with a twist of glitter around the waist. Jennifer Connelly and Kate Winslet both turned up to their film premieres in Balmain dresses, as did Gwyneth Paltrow for her UK premiere of Iron Man. But not only that, she appeared again in Balmain at a charity event where she was to be honoured. Throughout the years, Balmain has gone from elegant, super feminine to a little more chic and modern to cater for the changing times. But even with the changes over the years, one thing's for sure, Balmain will always be one of the legendary design giants. Legendary French designer Sonia Rykiel, dubbed the Queen of Knitwear, has become a household name, epitomizing Parisian style. Having founded her business in 1968, Rykiel transformed the pullover sweater into her signature. She invented inside-out stitching, no hem and unlined pieces that reflected a new philosophy she dubbed unfashion. And now she's widely credited in France with starting a fashion revolution. becoming one of the first designers to create such distinctive features like putting seams on the outside of garments, using stripes and sequins, and placing lettering on her clothing. She began a trend that is identified all across the world. She showed a classic collection in Paris in the mid-1990s with wide, loose trousers under curvy waisted jackets, and her favorite cardigan suits and smooth knits in cream, black, taupe and charcoal. Diamante accessories and beading partnered big belted coats and long skirts with fur hands. Taffeta trouser suits with black voile tunic tops dominated evening outfits, but Richiel also included padded jackets in shot taffeta, vinyl and fake fur tops with press studs in gold. Colours were plain except for a plaid mohair ensemble. Her show also ended up with something a little out of the ordinary, on the catwalk anyway, with a surprisingly drunken bride trailing furs and flowers. As the fourth day of the winter ready-to-wear season went ahead in Paris in 1997, Richiel showed some striking new styles and emphasized fantasy and eccentricity in her collection by mixing nudity, stripes, squares, fake jewelry and flowers, while at the other end of the spectrum were classical fabrics and cuts. A wide variety of colours marked Richiel's eccentric collection, completed with her own designed shoes of lace and patent leather. By the mid-2000s, she was paying homage to Austrian painter Richard Linde, while models paraded down the catwalk in Picasso stripes. She kicked off the menswear season with a nod to rebellious icons, with another collection inspired by an artist. This time, though, the inspiration was French singer-songwriter Serge Gainsbourg. Richiel discovered gauzy cardigans, belted safari jackets and lightweight knits with bold coloured stripes, made for a man who doesn't mind breaking the rules. In 2007, the French doyenne of fashion teamed up with her daughter Natalie to present a strong and colourful spring collection, bringing us closer to what they think is the Richiel woman. The beginning of 2008, Richiel, for her winter pret-a-porter collection, kept to what she does best and opted for classic sweaters that would be favourites season in, season out. With models skipping, dancing and smiling down the runway, the collection was floaty and feminine, with knitted doll-like dresses and miniskirts, stripes and bold prints teamed with trilby hats and ankle-breaking platforms. And to celebrate 40 years in fashion, Richiel held a star-studded party and catwalk show to prove she was still going strong at the age of 78. And like a greatest hits compilation, the display showcased all the ingredients that have come to symbolize Richiel: jaunty berets studded with rhinestones, intarsia sweaters with butterfly or lip motifs, mannish trouser suits and candy-colored ostrich feather coats. With elaborate floral settings placed on each dinner table, guests included many well-known designers such as Gaultier, Karl Lagerfeld and Christian Lacroix. These designers created a tribute collection to close the show, with 40 outfits offering their own interpretation of the Richiel look. Not only impressing fellow designers, the Sonia Richiel look has dazzled many Hollywood stars, from the experienced Gwyneth Paltrow to up-and-coming young star Jenna Malone. Having made sweaters and knitwear sexy and trendy again, while creating new trends and styles to cater for all tastes and seasons, the fabulous Sonia Richiel look is certainly here to stay. For its legendary use of geometric prints and its vast array of colours, the Italian house of Pucci has become known and loved all across the world. The label was introduced to the world by Emilio Pucci around the time of World War II. He served in the Italian Air Force before leaving to pursue his fashion career, and having grown up in one of Florence's oldest noble families, lived and worked in the Pucci Palace. Beginning with swimwear, he eventually moved on to creating brightly coloured and daring patterned scarves, blouses and dresses, while opening boutiques and obtaining international recognition. During the 1960s, Pucci was displaying ordinary day wear at fashion shows held in the Palazzo Pitti. He presented spring-summer collections which he called the Vivara look, which were based on vibrant colours, intricate prints and geometrical constructions, and presented a collection of toweling beachwear. According to his publicists, he created this collection to portray form, colour, movement and rhythm. The beachwear was made from toweling designed for spring mills. Early 1968 also included a collection that showed his men's fashion for the first time. This spring-summer collection was designed for modern, handsome young men and beautiful women. In a collection he called Young Executives, his men's fashion featured beautifully cut high-button suits and leisure wear in a variety of bright colours, while women's came in smooth-fitted evening dresses and swirling mini dresses, and of course his famous wild psychedelic prints. By the early 70s, he was using leisure as his theme, in a collection that embraced every hour of the day. The look was casual, colourful, contemporary, yet elegant, feminine and romantic. After Emilio's death in 1992, the label continued on with his daughter as the designer. However, after the French luxury goods empire LVMH acquired a major share in the company, French designer Christian Lacroix came in as creative director. Parading his first collection for Pucci in 2002, Lacroix continued to build on the heritage of house founder Emilio, but would also keep his avant-garde spirit alive. Lacroix, whose colourful mix-and-match style made him one of the darlings of 1990s design, said he had been deeply influenced by Pucci mania in the 60s and felt absolutely at home designing at the Florentine house. Flowing chiffon dresses with asymmetrical skirts, lycra leggings and satin parkas floated down the runway without causing any cries of sacrilege, as purple, pink, yellow, black, white and turquoise swirled around each other just as they always have. In 2005, Lacroix unveiled his latest collection for Pucci after successfully re-establishing the label. His Spring-Summer 2006 collection was full of typical Pucci multicoloured geometric prints, but this time the familiar prints were given a lift by sparkling crystals and beading. British designer Matthew Williamson took off from where Lacroix left, unveiling a collection that was snappy, commercial and adored by the Pucci family. Making his mark on the style scene in the late 1990s, Williamson quickly became known for his vibrant use of colour and prints, something which attracted the eye of Pucci.
Well, it's a very sort of young, fun, irreverent take on the House of Pucci. It's a new start, and it's the collection is for a young, modern woman.
Colours, geometrics and metals were the order of the day at Pucci's fall-winter women's wear collection in 2007, as Williamson offered designs that wouldn't look out of place in the late 60s and early 70s, with vibrant colours and psychedelic swirls. But it's designs like these that made the label a favourite of the rich and famous. Pucci's designs have been worn by many leading ladies over the years, from Sophia Loren to Nicole Kidman, who appeared at Cannes in the famed Pucci red print dress. With kaleidoscope colours and prints, Pucci is an instantly recognisable brand, making it one of the most illustrious fashion labels the world has seen. Having received worldwide attention for his advertising campaigns and gaining a legendary image for his fashion and trends, is American designer Kenneth Cole. Cole founded his own fashion house in 1982 with a line of shoes. However, beginning this empire was not an easy feat. Wanting to showcase his shoes at Market Week at New York's Hilton Hotel, Cole, in the end, had to display them in a trailer 2 blocks away. Discovering he needed a permit, he found out that they only granted them to utilities and production companies. And so Cole immediately changed his company's name from Kenneth Cole Incorporated to Kenneth Cole Productions. He applied for a permit to shoot a full-length film, and with this saw the beginning of Kenneth Cole Productions and the birth of a shoe company. With his alleged film crew helping out, Cole in 2 days sold a ridiculous 40,000 pairs of shoes. He now designs men's and women's footwear, clothing and accessories, and is also a passionate humanitarian. By the mid-80s, he had become what many considered the first fashion designer to become openly involved in the fight against AIDS, and has used his creative and sometimes controversial designs as a medium to voice concerns and to show support. In 1997, he was awarded the Humanitarian Leadership Award at the Council of Fashion Designers of America. Cole, however, best known for his shoe designs and socially conscious advertising in the US, branched out into menswear in 1998 and unveiled his first line of men's clothing in New York. Claiming to project a relaxed, urban sophistication, Cole made great use of black and shades of grey and favoured the hip-length zip-front jacket for the casual look. Reaction sportswear is what Cole called his collection for the spring of 2000, as his young male models paraded the clothes on a New York City runway. Cool white was the colour of the day, combined with floral prints on windbreakers, drawstring pants and shorts. His world-famous shoes also made it onto the runway, with mostly identical broad-strap sandals. Proving he was becoming one of the truly great American fashion designers, he took over a large waiting room at Grand Central Station to launch his Spring 2001 collection. Although this show was a little more unique as it combined men's and women's fashion on the catwalk at the same time. In recent years, Cole has made the transition from casual looks with soft lines where textures were a mix of suede, cotton, leather and silk, paired with casual sandals for men and lace-up Roman sandals for women, to tailored, sleek lines constructed with luxurious natural fabrics, where the look was slightly different than his urban, edgy trademark. Muted colours and a lot of skin have taken centre stage as well, as his models made it to the catwalk wearing various shades of whites and browns, along with ample supplies of undergarments. His collections over the years have been very American, making women look powerful but also feminine. With basic patterns and shapes which are stylish and practical, his clothing for both men and women has become recognisable around the world.
The inspiration is very American, very contemporary, but yet classic ways of dressing, which is where I think people are evolving. And very androgynous kinds of looks again, masculine looks on women, but feminized.
And pairing his one-liner play-on-word slogans for his charities into his creations and designs has helped turn his business into the successful label it is today, worth over $1 billion. And the legendary designer Kenneth Cole is still concentrating on producing clothes of good quality that make men look smart and sophisticated and women dazzling and sensational.